Today, we're going to talk about the future of false flag events. Go! False flag events, what are they? A false flag event could be 100% fabricated, could be 50% fabricated, could be 10%. It varies. I'm not going to get into what false flag events happened in the past. Which ones are real, which ones are fake, because to be honest with you, they're very hard to prove. A false flag event is a big event that will be all over the news so that everybody sees it, and so that the powers that be can change or is trying to change your way of thinking or your view on certain things. Big events though, like when the Kim Kardashian gets new shoes. So they could be 100% fabricated, 50%, 10%. What do I mean? It could be something that they make from scratch. They say, we're going to do this. We're going to have a bomb here to, hire people or get brainwash people, or it could be brainwash people, it could be bribe people, it could be mind control. Yes, mind control. There is such thing. People, so they do a certain thing. Basically everything from scratch. Let's say a bomb or a shooting, everything from scratch. And then of course they catch the guy, usually kill him so he can't talk or something like that. Or it could be something like an event, a bad event, usually a bad event that happens, and then they inject some fake stuff in there. Or it could be 50%. Something terrible happens, and then they add stuff to it to make the story go this way. So the story was originally going this way, but then they get in paid actors, they get in fake news, so the story goes this way. Check this out.
We present a novel real-time facial reenactment method that works with any commodity webcam. Since our method only uses RGB data for both the source and target actor, we are able to manipulate YouTube videos in real time. Here we demonstrate our method in a live setup. On the right, a source actor is captured with a standard webcam. This input drives the animation of the face in the video shown on the monitor to the left. A significant difference to previous methods is the re-rendering of the mouth interior. To this end, we resynthesize the mouth interior of the target actor using video footage from the training sequence based on temporal and photometric similarity. As we can see, we are able to generate a realistic and convincing reenactment result. Here we show a close-up of the footage from the previous live reenactment. The input video stream is shown on the left. Note that the target actor is re-rendered in a neutral pose. On the right, we can see the final output of our method.
Okay, the President Bush is recorded, but what the person is doing is facial expressions with his mouth and his eyes and stuff like that. That's done live on top of that recording. Now, that doesn't have to be a recording of Bush, could be live event. They can do this on live stuff too. As it happens, they can do this. Now, isn't that freaky? Future of false flags will incorporate stuff like that. Now we have technology. What is technology? Is it evil or is it good? Well, technology is a neutral thing. It's kind of like the internet. The internet is technology, but on the internet you have bad things like pedophiles and stuff. But you also have good things like maybe cure for cancer and stuff like that, or helping people around the world with money. Could be good. So it depends how it's used. So technology is usually neutral. Now, you might say, okay, whoop-de-doo. They can do, facial expressions. They can control facial expressions, make it seem like the person did it. Yeah, but now check this out.
I jumped on the bed and I kissed my dogs and my wife in that order.
Yeah, so how about we mess with who he actually kissed? It's actually easy. We can just type the word dogs here. And
I kissed my wife and my dogs.
whoa. Wait, here's more, we can actually type something that's not here. So let's remove the word my here,
Your secret's out, Jordan.
and just type the word Jordan.
Ooh.
And here we go.
And I kissed Jordan and my dogs.
So now they can record a voice, a few words, and that's it. It's like it's like Photoshop for voice. Just need a part of your voice, make you say anything. They just type it in, make you say anything. Now combine those two together. Combine the edit video with facial expression and mouth control. Combine that with the manipulation of your voice, make you say anything you want. Is it starting to sink in what they're capable of doing? They will incorporate this type of technologies into future false flag events. Mark my words, you'll see something's going to come out. Could be this year, could be in 5 years. They will eventually use that to their advantage. And it doesn't have to be something like this technology that I just showed you, those 2 video clips. It doesn't have to be something that will appear in the news, because they can do stuff like that behind the scenes. All right, let's say some intelligence division of military or something, or CIA, whatever. They could film somebody of a special meeting, and then they could, like zoom in on his face and then prove to somebody else, okay, in, let's say the Bilderberg group, people in the Bilderberg group, they could show, look what he said, we spied on him, check out this video. And the person that's in the Bilderberg group, whatever, or one of them or something like that, a connection, let's say high-powered connection somewhere, they're going to see this, they're going to be swindled, they're going to be fooled, they're going to think that's real. So it's not only could it be used for public, it could be used behind the scenes, private, to sway, to get people to think a certain way, right? You're fooling them. So it's not a matter of if they're going to use this. They will use this. I guarantee you, in some format, whether you hear about it on mainstream news or you hear about it on alternative news sites, that is so powerful to be able to control a face and to control, what the person says. That is like so powerful. So in the future, when you see stuff on the internet, on the news, you have to ask yourself now, knowing that this exists, you have to ask yourself, is that really true? So don't jump to conclusions. When you see something, don't believe it right away. Even me, when I say stuff on this channel, don't believe me outright. You might want to believe me, unless you already know what I'm saying is true. You did your research and you've seen evidence from, all directions. You already know your stuff, and I'm repeating stuff that you know, okay. But if it's something new that you see, don't believe it outright, because being able to fool people is becoming easier and easier and easier these days with technology that they have. And speaking of fooling people, another thing I want to give you a tip before I let you go is that there are videos online where it's not a human talking. It's a robot talking. It's a program where you type in stuff and you can make it say anything. Now, it's not like that Adobe speech thing there, the Adobe, voice control thing. It's another thing. It's been around for a while, and there's a famous person, actually, Stephen Hawking, that I believe he has. I'm not sure what disease it is. I think it's multiple sclerosis. I'm not sure, but he has a disease. It's been a while. I think it started in the late 70s or 80s, or sometime in the 80s, where he can't talk anymore. And back then, when we had technology was not as advanced, there was this thing. I remember a Sam Speech. I think it was on the Atari computer. It was called Sam Speech, and it sounds very similar to that. What Stephen Hawking is using, which is whatever you type, it will try. It'll talk. The computer will talk, or pre-made words, and Stephen Hawking just points at the words and it pronounces the words. And he was even asked, we have technology to make your voice sound better, and I believe he declined. He says, no, because people know me as this voice right now, so he doesn't want to upgrade to new technology. So that's why when you see Stephen Hawking and he's communicating, you hear that funny type of text to speech thing. However, there are videos online now. It's getting more and more popular. I could spot it. I'm in audio. I work in audio, so I could spot it. And be very careful with these videos. Do not believe what they say. And the reason why is the video that you're watching is not a human talking, right? It's somebody typing something and it's turned into synthesized speech. So the reason why I'm saying be careful is there's no accountability. You don't know who's saying that. Could be a 8-year-old, could be a 80-year-old. Like, you don't know who it is. It's completely anonymous. When you watch my videos, you know that I'm saying it. So I'm putting my reputation on the line. You see me, I'm saying it, right? You see my face. I'm putting my reputation on the line. Now, these people that have I can understand why it exists, because maybe the guy is Russian or the guy speaks another language. It doesn't speak English well. So he types in the English version of it and then it speaks English pretty well. I, however, could tell the difference. Here, let's look at this example and see if you could spot it.
Players have different colored game pieces that they place on countries. Whoever gets the most pieces, representing countries, wins the game. If the game board is covered with blue pieces, then blue wins and red loses. There is no struggle between good and evil. It simply is a game of amassing quantities of colored game pieces.
Now, if you listen carefully, you notice little details that something's not quite right. The way the pronunciation is and stuff like that, it's not quite right. That's that text-to-speech thing. So be very careful when watching videos. They're getting more and more popular that have this text-to-speech, because they could say anything. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility, no accountability for anything. They could just, it's like having a web page. Someone types an article and there's a name attached to it, or a fake name, or no name. It's actually better, no names attached to it would be a better example. And so you're reading this stuff, like, who wrote this? You don't know anything about the person. So be very careful with that. And that being said, is those text-to-speech software that's available to the public, they're getting better too. So maybe in 5 years from now, I won't even be able to tell the difference, or you. So be very careful when you only have speech on video and you don't see the person speaking. Be very careful not to believe that stuff outright. Be very careful with that. They could technically, if the guy can't speak English well, technically he could film himself in the beginning as, a proof that he is the author of the video, and he could maybe say it in his language, maybe with some subtitles, to say that or at the end of the video, proving that, I don't speak English well, so I'm going to use this. That is much better than just a video where you just hear speech and you never know who the person is. So that's about it. So I got stuff to do. Hope you have a great day. I'm out of here.